So, surprise, surprise, we are back to digging.
Yay, it's my favorite job.
Well, good, because I did not enjoy it. Which we actually have some really good news about the digging. And then later today, we're going to be installing our solar panels, finally.
So unfortunately, this dirt is a bit too compacted, so we do have to use the little jackhammer to kind of break it up a bit. But I think it's gonna come up. It's gonna take a very long time.
How's it going, kiddo?
Good.
Good. Thanks for helping.
You're welcome.
I can definitely tell that we've got our land set up better for the kids because today, once we got here, they basically just went out on their own and started playing and exploring, and that's exactly what we want for them. Alexa's been in helping us a bit. Chloe was helping us a bit in the beginning, and now she's out just having some kind of adventure, and that is what I want. I want to see them out having their own adventures, and that's why we're doing this.
This is not a very fun job. Mommy's favorite kind of work, though.
Doesn't involve any danger.
That's why it's my favorite. Because it doesn't involve any danger.
It's jobs like this that I get kind of frustrated and discouraged because I know that if we had the proper machinery, we could do this entire house in a day and a half. But we don't, so we're doing it by hand. So we have a very long digging process ahead of us, and we need a much better wheelbarrow than the one we currently have. So this is called a mini jackhammer. You squeeze the trigger. You want to go like this, back and forth, okay?
Okay.
And don't put it on your toe, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it?
I think it hit a rock.
So for now, the plan is to take all of the dirt and dump it from the house down to the terrace just beneath the house. I do need to build up a barrier, some kind of temporary wooden retaining wall that will hold the dirt. And then at a later point, we will take an excavator and load that onto a truck to haul out.
We are now filling up the second wheelbarrow of probably, 850?
That's my estimate is 850 wheelbarrows. Napkin math, but I think it's fairly accurate.
I think we might need some heavy-duty machinery instead of our bare hands, or we might be here for a few years trying to dig out this floor.
So we did get some really good news. We had the engineer come through the building a couple days ago, or about a week ago. We do not have to dig down nearly as far as we originally thought. We were told originally that we had to dig down anywhere from 1 meter, about 3 feet, to 1.5 meters, about 4.5 feet, which would have been brutal. And then we would have had to underpin the walls, which would have been extremely expensive. And he came through and he said, all we have to dig is about 45 centimeters. What is that, about 1.5 feet, which is extremely doable. And it means we likely don't have to underpin. He says we do have to build out essentially a border of concrete all the way around each room, about 20 centimeters out, up to the floor level, going down about 45, 50 centimeters. In my mind, that's like, I was jumping for joy when we got that news, but it still means we have to dig down 0.5 meter. So the problem with digging out the house like this is that it's mostly clay and small stones. So it acts like kind of like cement because the clay is the cement, the small stones is the aggregate that holds it together. And it's actually the same cement that's in the walls. These stone walls are stacked with, in the middle, clay that kind of holds it all together. And it's very effective. It's been standing for 200 years and it means digging out the floor is brutal.
We may be regretting our life choices right now. Not really, but I do feel like we might need some help. I don't know if we can do all this by ourselves. What do you think?
I think we just need the right tools. We need to get a mini excavator that can fit through the door and approach this properly.
What? Do you want a snack? No, I haven't been doing anything that's tiring.
So as much as we just want to kind of plow through and dig this out, I had to pause and take a moment to think because it took us a good 45, 50 minutes to do 5 wheelbarrows. and running the math in terms of how much this thing can hold versus how much we have to dig out. And if we continue at this pace, it will literally take 28 to 30 days of nonstop digging. So it's just not, it's not going to work. I was thinking maybe it takes a week or two to dig, we'll do it by hand, but we can't take 30 solid days of nonstop back-breaking digging to dig this out. So we're going to table this for now until a point where we can get a hold of hopefully some kind of mini excavator, or we'll figure out some other system so that we don't have to spend a solid month of digging. But that means we now get to work on solar panels.
Heart of glass, if it shatters, darker days will come our way. I look back to remember memories.
These terraces sure are beautiful, but whew, they definitely make some of these jobs a lot harder.
So normally I think you would put up your solar panels as your first project when building off-grid, but we've had the luxury of being able to take our battery to town and charge it up, so it just has been a low priority, but that's kind of annoying to do every couple of days. And it's kind of cool to know that from this moment on, pretty much the majority of all power that we will build the house with will be completely clean energy, which I think is pretty neat. Out perfect. So all of our power has been coming from a battery. We don't have any form of electricity here. We don't have a generator. So all of the build projects that you guys have seen us do has been coming from that. Which I'm kind of impressed that we've been able to do so much with such a small battery. But now, just with these two solar panels, with the amount of sun that we get, it will continuously, in theory, keep that thing fully charged for us, which will be a nice luxury to have.
I'm making a tiny hideout.
A tiny hideout, cool.
And I even tested out. My head can go through that.
Wow.
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome. Might
But I
tip
still
over.
Have
Oh no.
to go out how to keep it from tipping over.
Okay, you work on it. When you have an idea, let me know, okay?
Yay!
It's the last screw. You can do it.
Whew, it's a sad little guy.
That's why we need solar panels. we're out of power. I think it's pretty cool that we're gonna be harnessing power from the sun, turning that into energy, and then building our house out of that energy. It's just a pretty fascinating and incredible concept. Yay! It fits! Our measurements are right.
Of course they're right.
We successfully did math. That looks cool.
Looks awesome.
Especially from underneath.
So I'm super pumped because someday we're gonna have 30 of these guys on our roof. And if my napkin math is correct, we should be able to generate up to 15 to 20 kilowatts, which with the amount of sun that we have, not only is that enough power for us to power everything in our home, but we can heat with solar. We can charge a car with solar. Hypothetically, with that much power, we could charge 300 miles of an electric car in about 5 or 6 hours of sunlight, which is astonishing. And with the price of solar panels these days, especially if you consider the car and how expensive gas is in Europe, you're talking about a 2-year, maybe 3-year payoff. It's crazy. So this is gonna get us, hopefully just this actually, will get us through building the house. But then once we plaster the roof with solar panels, it's gonna power us for the rest of our lives. It's pretty cool, buddy. You like the shade?
Yeah.
Originally, I was actually very much against putting solar panels on the roof because we have that beautiful slate, and who would want to cover that up? But the nice thing is that the back side of the roof is the only side of the roof that you can see from any place on the property. So the front that will have the solar panels, they're going to get covered up, but we currently can't see them anyways unless you're flying a drone, but from the property we're not actually going to be covering it up. So it's quite nice that we can still maintain the beautiful slate stone on the roof and have the full benefit of covering it in solar panels. So naturally I'm excited to get these solar panels on the roof someday and to be living off energy that is sustainable and completely free. Of course, there are practical reasons such as the significant amount of money saved from that. But I think lately more and more for us, the effect on the environment has been taking a bigger seat in that decision, especially lately since we've been in Italy and realizing that we're in the mountains in February. This is mid-February and I'm sweating in a t-shirt and we should be covered in snow. So I think we have not seen the effects of climate change so drastically, more so than the last 5 or 6 months. And it does naturally make us start to think about our effect on things and our own carbon footprint. And Ren reached out, the sponsor of today's video, as an interesting way to calculate your own carbon footprint and to help offset that. So Ren is a simple website that allows you to input a few parameters and calculate your own approximate carbon footprint, and then offset that by funding a variety of carbon reduction projects around the world. By answering a few simple questions, you can figure out your own carbon footprint and then learn simple ways to reduce that. But since no one can reduce their own carbon footprint to zero, you then can fund simple projects like tree planting or rainforest protection to reduce your carbon footprint. Once you sign up for a monthly contribution to offset your carbon footprint, you'll get monthly updates with photos and details of every tree planted, every acre reforested, and every ton of carbon offset. Of course, it's going to take a lot to tackle the climate crisis, but Ren does make it simple to get started, and the first 100 people who sign up using the link in our description will get 10 extra trees planted in their name. So this, of course, is the nerve-wracking part of the business. Here's hoping I haven't accidentally reversed polarity somehow. And I plug this in and fry our battery. That was the weirdest sensation. I know I'm being dumb, but as I plugged that in, my phone vibrated and I was like, oh! Well, there we go. 465 watts of solar. It's not a lot, but we're not using a lot currently. That's enough. Shoot, I'd only estimate maybe 5 hours of sun a day to more than take care of all of the energy we're using on a daily basis. Probably a lot less than that's all that's needed. That's really good. We have a great solar coefficient here, or pretty decent at least. And we are getting, what is it, about 90% of the rated power for those solar panels, which is extremely good. Now that'll go down a little bit over time, but today's not even a fully sunny day. It's got a bit of haze going on, a light cloud coverage, but I'm 500 watts. Like, I'm very pleased with that. That's cool. Okay, so I just looked it up. Those solar panels together are rated for 750 watts. We're currently getting about 500 watts, which it's about 67% of its capacity for the slightly hazy day we have here, and for it being a little later in the day in the middle of winter, to me is exceptionally good. I think that's very promising. It tells me that we can have shoot, like if we filled the roof with solar panels, again on the side where you can't even see the solar panels, we should have at least a 15 kilowatt system, maybe a 20 kilowatt system, which is just like really exciting because that's gonna power everything we need in a house. And someday, if we can afford it, get a electric car. But man, with the free energy, it literally pays for the car. Just so cool. So I really love YouTube. And the reason why I'm saying that today is because it's a two-way platform. We get to make these videos and share them with you. And then you guys get to leave us comments and give us feedback. And we love that. So last week we built this outdoor composting outhouse, and hundreds of you reached out and said we have to put in a Dutch door system or some way to enjoy the view from this perspective. And that's what we're doing this week. We're gonna take half an hour and change the way that we had built the door originally in order to allow it to be a Dutch door. But that two-way street is what makes YouTube so incredible. And if you haven't yet left us a comment and let us know where you're watching from, maybe even why you watch, or tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us, are you interested in building off-grid? Do you currently have an off-grid property? Or are you dreaming about building an off-grid property someday in the future? Let us know a little bit about yourself. We love reading the comments.
Daddy,
Yeah.
I need to go potty.
You need to go potty? But I'm working on the potty. Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Don't close the door.
But I'm still working on it.
Don't close it.
Okay, can I keep working while you use the potty?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now I have to cut the door off. Is it okay if I do that while you use the potty?
That's scary.
Are you all done?
No,
No,
I'm
you.
not.
Hey, buddy, you take your time, okay?
But that's scary if you cut it off while I'm inside.
I was just joking, okay? I won't cut it off yet, okay?
No, don't close the
Just a
door.
little bit, okay?
Don't close the door.
Just like to here. Okay? To here. Okay, there you go.
She accidentally. Oh, and I throw the towels in.
Yep, you can. That's okay. Are you done in there? Don't forget to flush.
You think I've done it now? There's no flash.
There's no flush.
Oh, how weird that is. I am very lucky that there's no flash. Scared.
Is this recording?
Always.
It is.
Chloe, the camera's recording. Wait, did you see me in the bathroom? No. Let me see that video footage. What are you doing?
I'm putting in a second door.
No.
Gotta test the height first. Alright, so we want to cut right here along this line. Does that seem like a safe thing to do?
No.
Let's try it.
No. It does not seem like a second.
But why do we need a second door?
For the view. I mean, what's the view? There we go. Second door. Kind of.
Is it done?
Yep. There we go.
Nice. Sweet. Fly it out. You
It's a little on an angle.
said
That's
it,
okay.
and Daddy, try to open that part.
Just the top door? Look. Whee!
Woo!
And if there's an emergency, you can call
Yeah,
out.
I could have done a better job, but you know, that's okay. Would
But-
this make you less scared?
Yeah.
It's less scary if you have just the door closed and not the window?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
I can see the sky.
That's good.
Mommy's idea was good.
Alright, so this should make everyone happy. We have our door latch, but if you want to pop this guy open and have the view, you can. And then separately, pop this guy open. So this week, of course, was Valentine's Day, and think you're supposed to do flowers or chocolate or something like that. Instead, I've taken this door and I've given my wife a loo with a view.
So we do have some exciting things coming up for our family. We actually decided...
Really exciting things.
Really exciting. We actually decided that we're going to go ahead and enroll the girls in school. They've been having Italian lessons, a couple times a week for a while now. They're doing really well. We think it's time for them to go and finish out the school year. So we're really excited. They are really
set up
excited.
A calendar. They're counting down every single day until they get to go to school. And they've been doing Italian lessons for 3 days a week. They're doing much better than we are, but let's face it, they have more time than we do. But like they are so pumped to go make some friends, to get back into school, and we are pumped to have more time to work on the house. Let's be honest. I feel like we have like 3 full-time jobs. Yeah. We have a full-time job of renovating the house. We have a full-time job, mostly you, of schooling the children. Yeah. And then we also have a full-time job making these videos. And it really is. I don't think people understand. So we are so split focused, and all 3 of those suffer dramatically as a result. So it's the best thing for the kids, and I'm really excited to move forward and at least try it out. That's the nice thing. We're trying it out. So there's only 3 months of school left,
3 months
or
of
something
school
like
left.
that.
So it's a great trial for all of us, really, to see do they like it? Is it just so overwhelming that it's too hard? It's too much. We're not ready yet. It's a really short time frame to see if it's gonna work for them, if they're gonna like it, and I'm excited. They are so excited. So
we clearly have a lot of work to do. So the fact that we have been splitting our focus so much, like I said, it makes everything suffer. It makes us have less time to work on the house and less time to work on the videos, and I just think maybe I'm too excited.
I think if
Let me know if I sound like I'm excited to get rid of my children.
Stop. No. I think this is the thing. If you have kids, you understand, it takes all of your time and effort to raise them. So if you are also trying to run a business and renovate a house and all of these things, we're just not giving the best of ourselves to each individual project. Yeah. And schooling for me is not my passion. My passion is not to be a teacher.
You are good at it, though.
I don't know if I would say that.
But it is the result that everything suffers when you have 3 full-time
If that was all I
jobs.
was focused on, I think I would be really good at it. But because I'm also editing and we're here working on the house.
Because they're excited. They're literally doing a countdown clock, every day. How many more days? How many more days? They're so pumped. Yeah. And so I'm excited for them, because it's been a long time since they've been able to go to school, because we've been traveling and whatnot. So we've done the homeschool thing for a long time. So I don't know. It's a fun family update.
Yeah, and I really do think it's going to be exactly what we need in this season, the next few months coming up, and yeah, we're all really excited to be able to get more work done, to be able to make friends, and yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of our journey, part of our life. That's what's so cool about this platform. Like I said earlier, that it's a two-way street. We love hearing from you guys. So leave us a comment. And if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe, because I can't explain how much that helps us. And it's completely free and takes 2 seconds.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.